Welcome back, everybody, to Anime Royalty Radio.
Been a long time.
It has been a long time, and we're not where we're supposed to be. We're in a different area.
We're in a bunker.
We're not. Well, hey, yeah, and we got the coordinates from a pen.
This is all brand new to me.
This is all brand new. No, we're changing some stuff up. So hopefully, the next time that we record a big group of videos for you, we will be in a brand new room with new stuff, and it'll look all glamorous and pretty. Shut up, number one.
Shiny. Also, happy holidays. When this releases, it probably won't be the holidays.
But right now, it's Black Friday.
It'll be in between them.
Black Friday right now. But we're back, and on this episode, it's our anime episode, and we are talking about what, if anybody remembers, Promised Neverland.
What's that?
I hate you. And it was my pick, which I'm actually surprised that these guys watched it.
Whoa. We watch everything all the time.
No, the fuck you don't.
No, we really don't. We're very biased.
Yes, y'all really are. Y'all are biased as fuck.
Name one.
Ooh.
Name two.
That was my fault. I'll set the
Seven
marker
Deadly
low.
Sins? Fruits Baskets? Seven Deadly Sins?
Okay, so it's only the animes that number one fan picks that we don't watch.
The zombie one.
Zombieland Saga. I've
Was
watched it and I
amazing.
hated it.
Yeah.
That was so good.
It was horrible as fuck.
Solid pick.
So let's get into our review
Okay.
of The Promised Neverland. And we got some juiciness here because we did watch this, and then we found out there's some controversy with this one. And we actually agree that there's a lot of controversy with this one. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I got a little quiet there for a second. Actually, it's a lot
yeah,
quiet.
it's gone. I
Yeah.
hear nothing.
You hear nothing?
Nope.
Technical difficulties like always. We're good for it. Why did it go quiet? Is it
You can
something
count on us for one thing.
It's technical fucking difficulties. Is it me going quiet or is it that
It's
going?
most everybody.
Okay.
So, just enjoy four dudes troubleshooting.
While we're
Yeah.
still trying to record.
And here's Don Juan with some sensual sounds to help you relax.
I don't know about sounds, but I can tell a quick story, I guess.
Number
No.
15.
I think we're good now. Are we good now?
We're pretty much good.
Okay, so we just had to adjust on the run.
It's a
So
childhood
if
story.
nobody has, oh, I want to see.
Okay,
her.
so I skipped school.
oh
And
God, he's going.
I jumped on a train, and then I jumped off the train, and then I hurt my knees, and then the kid that was with me jumped right on top of me, so then I hurt my back, and then we went back to the school for some reason, and then we got
No,
detention.
wait a minute. I
The
thought
end.
we were saving Scarlet and Violet for later.
What the fuck? Okay, back to what I was talking about here.
And that's the plot.
No, it's not.
Was it at least a fun train ride?
We're getting off topic here.
I feel like we need to discuss this.
So off topic here.
Goodness.
Oh God! While we're recording, if you hear
Speaking of train wrecks,
if you hear number one fan just shout out, she's catching Eevees right now for the new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Which we will cover in a later segment.
Yes. Okay. So Promised Neverland. If nobody's watched it, it's basically a horror anime, which is very few and far between. Because if you look up Funimation, there's not much in that genre.
no.
There's really not. Besides, Tokyo Ghoul,
Higurashi
Hellsing.
when they cry.
Yeah, there's not much there that has a lot of substance. And if it is, it's extremely gory, and it's your typical horror trope.
Yeah.
So to actually watch, something like this, where it was not typically extremely gory.
It was more psychological.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a
Type
psychological thriller, at least
Yeah.
in the first season.
Yeah, the first season. Oh, hell yeah. And that's why I love A Promised Neverland, except at least for the first season.
Oh, yeah.
Because the first season,
Solid.
solid. Let's just put it out there. Great mind games. Let's put, the three main characters, Emma, Norman,
And Ray.
against, Isabella or Mom,
Mhm.
and let's see who can make it out. But then season 2 happens, and then the manga happens, and the manga goes
The manga had 4 arcs?
four arcs altogether, and in those arcs, it goes, let's just say Emma's invincible, and Emma has...
I feel like the mistake was made because you have the manga has 4 arcs, season 1 of The Promised Neverland covered the first arc, the Gracefield house.
Right, and that's
and
where
then they attempted to have the last 3 arcs in one season in 12 episodes.
11.
11 episodes.
But let's be honest here. You can see it in the manga that by the end of the first season or the first arc, everything is basically a jumbled mess.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody cares for. Sorry, number one fans showing us stuff. Nobody cares for what's
EVs.
going on because everything's ass backwards.
Now, what do you guys think that is? Do you think that they knew that they weren't going to have another book or another season, and whatever ideas that they did have down, they just wanted to sandwich them all in together?
Because it is relatively newer. Maybe the manga was still, a work in progress. Maybe they weren't.
You think it had like the Berserk syndrome, where it was a work in progress at the same time?
Well, maybe.
But here's another thing that gets me. This was made by Amniplex, and Amniplex is known for not going off source material that much. I mean, they did for Full Metal Alchemist a little bit, but then they came back with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And that was great. Everybody loves Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Brotherhood's the best one. Roy's our boy. That's what I thought.
He's a Hawkeye.
What are you doing?
I'm looking up the date for when the manga came out and the anime.
So, you got season 1, which paid very good, homage to the manga. Followed it very close where, they first find out that they're on a farm.
Got that whole season was dedicated to that whole first arc.
Yes, and it
So
was.
It wasn't like the information was just being jumbled,
thrown
in and thrown at you. They gave themselves plenty of time to tell that story. So.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
it had good flow. It didn't seem like
Exactly.
everything was just like thrown in.
And they even said that from a lot of things I looked up online that they're happy with season 1 of the anime and the first arc. They seem to be very good together. Emma and Norman finds out that they are on a farm. They find out that they're being bred to just be sacrificed to demons and be meat. And that's when they decide we're going to escape with all the kids.
Okay, so the first episode of Promised Neverland was actually in 2019.
Okay.
The manga ended in June 2020.
Okay, so that makes sense.
So I think what we have here is a bad case of disparity between the manga and the anime, because imagine you're the writers working on this and you're through
Game
the
of
third
Thrones syndrome.
Yeah, you're getting through third or fourth arc and they're like, hey, by the way, we're going to have to turn this into an anime, so we're going to need you to finish this up real quick, which is why I think we see some of the weirder stuff happening later on. Like,
Okay.
So rushed.
Kinda, because after, when the first season happened, it falls very full to form the first arc.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they managed to get everybody up, everything like that, get everybody but Phil out of Gracefield.
Right.
And then it follows up into the second arc where they meet Mujika and Sanju. Is that it? Sanju, thank you. They meet them. But then this is where even I noticed in the anime, they started to kind of turn on themselves, because then after that in the anime, they're in the village. Oh, no, they make it to the bunker.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
And then after the bunker, they're in the village.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's a weird time lapse, but I'm not upset about this.
Right.
This is where it really bounces off from the manga, because then you find out in the manga, after they meet up with them, they go to the bunker. There's a whole nother guy named Mr., or as you later find out, his name is Yugo. He's in that bunker. He lost all of his kids, and now he's in a conflict with Emma. Emma gets captured. She goes to a place called Goldie Pond, meets a guy named, oh God, what was it? Lucas. No,
Lewis,
the
Yeah.
crazy dude, the crazy demon who just hunts for fun. And
Who is the brother
of the queen.
Of the queen.
And you find out a lot more that, there's a hierarchy that's keeping the farms in check. So there's an actual rich,
Basically a clergy system.
the
Yeah.
rich stay with the good stuff and keep the common folk down. Communism, basically. I hate to say it, but it was.
Pretty much.
And then, what was it? I forgot her name already. The one with the cursed blood. Mujika. She has this special type of blood that allows demons not to eat humans and regain their human form, but they cleared that out 700 years ago, and it was just came a jumbled mess in season 2 where you're just kind of going, okay.
It kind of just felt like a completely different writer just kind of came in and she, even though that it is, you know, somewhat similar to the manga and how they wanted to do the whole humanizing of the demons and all that, but honestly they should have just kept it simple.
To be honest, I don't think it was meant to be simple from the beginning, because as intricate as season 1 was, it was very elaborate. You could tell just by the way things were set up that he had planned on this going on for who knows how many different arcs. But as you see
could have
through,
at least got 4 seasons.
Easily.
Yeah, at least.
Easily.
but as you see it going through the second arc, the third arc, the fourth arc in the manga, it feels like it gets a little bit more rushed each time. It feels like corners are being cut just a little bit here and there. So I'm wondering, is it a new writer that's trying to finish up this storyline so it can go straight into anime production? Or is this the original writer having to cut his own creative corners because, hey, there's an anime coming out, and depending on how well it does, yeah.
And it could also be a little bit of maybe the studio pushing him or publishers
That
pushing
definitely
him to
has
get it out.
a role in it, yeah.
And so Vol finished it before I did, and he said, I don't think there's going to be a season 3. And I'm like, hang on, I haven't watched the last episode. Let me watch it. So me and Number One Fan watched it, and I was like, oh, yeah. There's not, because by the end of that episode, they were just showing little, like, flashes of stuff going on. I'm like, what is kind of going on? She meets this dragon kid, this dragon thing. Mujika's getting queened or something.
You know, when I
What's
first
going
started
on?
seeing that, I'm like, are these like dreams? Is this like a dream sequence? Is this what they want to happen? And then it's like, there's nothing on the other side. Humans are warring with each other. I'm like, that would have been like cooler to see a better development instead of just happy ending, roll credits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I looked at her and I'm like, there's no human world. I would almost be happy if there's no human world. But no, there's New York City and everybody's
Yeah, they come right out into the big city and they're like, welcome, kids. Here's new clothes. Get on this bus. Go to school.
Yeah, you know, everything like that. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is almost too accepting. This is almost too
convenient. That was my issue.
And one of the
convenience,
biggest things that they talked about is the human world going to accept us? Is it different?
And they had the same issue with the manga as well. The way the writing would show up, it's just everybody threw away their own self-interest and followed Emma with whatever she
Emma
said.
became my word.
Everything
is
came up
God.
Emma.
Because she was able to, you know,
never felt like she was in danger. Like
Nope.
in the first season, like especially after they shipped Norman, you were
and
like,
she got her ass beat.
he's one of the main characters. Yeah,
And she got her ass fucking
you were
beat.
like, oh, they can get anybody. Nobody's safe. But in season 2,
No, she had plot
she's
armor
fine.
up the yin-yang.
Oh, yeah.
She's fine.
She was armored up.
She's fine. And that was another thing that really bothered me. There was one moment when I was watching it, and when they first met up with Norman again, and he pulls out this plan of, I'm going to destroy all these demons.
right.
I was
And
like,
I was
yes,
like,
let's do it.
You know
Go
what?
ahead.
I'm kind of
I'm on
cool.
board.
I'm on board with that because I
Makes
understand.
sense.
Yeah, I hate to see certain
And then
demons
she's
go.
like, Norman, you really don't want to do that. It's not right. And he's like, okay.
Exactly. or when all the kids are like, yay, we don't have to worry about the demons, and then she just goes and says, I don't want to live with regrets.
And the kid's like, oh, yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah,
is
you're
great.
right.
And then the other thing that gets me too is that his squad, the Lambda kids, right?
Agree.
They're like, they live for revenge on the demons. They're just like, oh, you don't want to kill them no more?
That
Okay,
was-
cool.
that
We've
one girl
literally
was
been
so
slaughtering
adamant
them.
about-
Yeah.
I
Us neither.
physically hate the cliches plot of somebody turning against the group when something like that happens. Because at that one moment, you see Vincent contact.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
Let's
like,
make a
I
deal.
hate this. This is going to be a stupid fucking plot thing. Why the fuck are you doing this? You're just going to ruin this anime for me. But I almost welcomed it because it would turn against Emma.
Yeah.
And I was
It would go
welcoming
against
it.
Emma.
And in the manga, I noticed something too. In the manga is the only time you see kids die. Besides the original sacrifice that
The start of season 1.
at the start of season 1.
And you honestly, at the time, you think he's getting adopted. You don't realize until later.
that kid's dying.
Yeah.
And that's what Norman and Emma see. But I will say this. That's the only time you see kids die. When you go and get those kids killed.
Lewis in the manga kills a couple of the kids, and he doesn't even do it to eat them. He just does it to hurt Emma.
Yep, just to hurt Emma. Emma only spins one panel of reflection.
She really doesn't get all that much adversity without something saving the day.
That's literally her only defining feature is, I don't really care about all that stuff. I just want to protect the family. Okay, well, when it comes to killing demons, maybe we shouldn't, but I need to protect the family. So that's first priority.
She wants everybody to survive. Humans, demons, even Ratry.
Yeah.
Peter?
Peter Ratry wants
to
live too.
Which is the perfect setup for the human condition where you're fighting with your own morals and self-interest.
Right, it's the duality of man.
Yes, but then it just throws it into this whole Superman from the 40s no, I can have it every way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's not plausible, and that's not really as good of a story as the inner struggle of your own personal morals and then what you know to be right.
Exactly, like the Lambda kids. That one girl that was all adamant about
Barbara.
What's her name?
Barbara,
the redheaded girl.
Mm-hmm.
She was a redheaded girl, right?
Yep.
Where she was like, what? She doesn't want to kill him. She wants to
And then she went off just bashing the hell
because
out
she
of
was getting ready to smash the little girl holding the baby.
And she didn't. She couldn't do it.
Norman's all like, no.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
I made really, a mistake. Norman?
And
I listened to Emma talk for 5 minutes, and now
I had faith in him there at first because he's like, "Oh, I'll just go along with Emma until we can actually do our plan." And then later
when he
on,
started he sent her off and started the attack anyway. I was like,
"Thank God!"
Yeah,
Norman.
Who's the best bad guy for or
antagonist?
Rival? Yeah, antagonist for Emma. It's
Norman.
Yeah,
it's Norman. And if it wouldn't have been Norman, it'd been Ray.
Yeah.
We didn't see a whole lot from Ray, though.
And Ray was
he took the back seat.
Yeah, he kind of just faded away after season 1.
Because in season 1, that was his thing. He was the one that was.
He shows up to save Emma from.
But he's the realist.
And I love it.
Exactly.
That's why he's my favorite.
That's why he would have made such a better character for this arc. Whereas Norman took that role over as well.
Exactly.
I don't know, man.
You said it best this morning. It feels like they just took this, wrapped it up, put a bow on it, and said, "Here you go."
Happy ending for Emma.
Yes, for Emma, because
Emma gets her perfect happy ending.
Yeah, because in the manga, to complete this sacrifice, she had to forget everybody, but then, they find her.
Now, I will say this: out of all the characters, just about everybody took a 180 and turned around and changed their ideologies, except for Peter. He was like, well, I could take her hand, or I could say, no, I'm a stick with my beliefs and kill myself, and yeah, that'll be the end of it. At least he was the OG.
Yeah.
I agree, and I do like seeing his flashback of why he did it, because it showed the difference between him and his brother, who was William Minerva. Sorry. And seeing how his brother reacted to the 1,000-year promise, which was, this is immoral, this is wrong. And then you see him, it's like, no, this is great. This is great.
That little flashback had more character development than any of these kids. I hate to say it.
And I will say this. I'm very happy because I hate stuff with kids in it because they tend to annoy me a lot of times. But this was the one that no kid actually really got on my nerves, even the younger ones.
And that's really easy to do, especially with childlike characters, because it's hard to relate. It's hard to care about that character because that character can't emote because they're a child.
Or they just make them dumb. They write them to be
exactly
dumb.
You can't write them to be good because they're children. They haven't developed as characters. But they didn't even try with Promised Neverland. Everybody that wasn't the big three were just background characters repeating the same things that the big three said.
The only two I think that broke out was the girl with the glasses. I can't even remember.
Gilda and Dawn.
Gilda and Dawn. That was the only two.
And I only cared about them for a slight second when they had to make that split-second decision about the breakout.
Yep, that's it.
And
after
that, I was like, you know what? They're going to hop along the train as well, which they did.
I brought this up before, and I'm going to bring it up
all
again.
Aboard the Emma train.
It just stands out to me for some reason, but the character design, or at least the facial design for the younger kids, they look ugly. There's some ugly kids. At that last, what was it? The last.
You're not pretty enough, kid.
The last 2 episodes
you die.
Where they're in the rotundra with all the moms pointing MP5s in the room. You remember that?
Yeah.
There was one kid His face was literally a smile, 2 dots, and 2 parentheses. That was it. That was his face.
That wasn't a kid. That was a ditto in the sky. He was trying to get out of there.
He's like, don't shoot me. I'll have sex with you.
No, you know what he actually looked like?
Just make me a peanut
like,
butter.
What was that one
peanut butter
Pokemon?
banana sandwich.
Yeah.
Aaron, what was that one Pokemon? The Edgium with the really dumb facial feature? Edgium or whatever?
What?
Yeah.
So are you actually edging them?
No. You know what I'm talking about.
Whoa, this turned dark really
This
quick.
got
Talking
really
about
dark.
kids and edge them.
You're bringing this up. I'm talking about the Pokemon. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
Edgium or whatever. He like floats. His like second form is like brown with like a skirt. Turn that off, please. Thank you. I forgot all about that.
Never heard of him.
Nope.
I will literally show you this afterwards, and you'll see his face, and I'm like, yeah, that looks like that derpy kid.
Okay.
So, as far as the Promised Neverland goes, do we have a favorite cast member? And I don't see anybody saying Emma.
Okay, season 1 Emma, yes. I didn't mind season 1 Emma because there was moments, especially when she got her ass fucking beat and she still showed up to send Norman away.
Mm-hmm.
There was moments like that, or when she cut off her own fucking ear.
Right.
There was moments like that I was like, or the beginning part of season 2 Emma. I liked that Emma.
There were times where she did show grit.
Yes. But then after that, I got tired of Emma getting her own way because I was like, you need to be knocked down a fucking peg.
Yeah.
You need not to get your
made
fucking
it really
way.
hard to like to want to support her because you just knew that
she's going to get
whatever
away.
she wanted, she was going to get.
Yeah, and that really bothered me because I know when I first heard about this anime, it was on a top 10 of the top horror animes. I know me and you talked about it a long time
That
ago.
was a big reason for me because I love the horror genre, and there's
not much out
not
there.
a lot of great horror anime.
And I pushed this one real hard. And me and you watched season 1 before we even started doing anime royalty radio, I think, together.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they ruined it. Thank you for ruining it.
Well, the good news is that there won't be a season 3. So
Yeah, that's true. At least it's done and over with.
They did 4 or 3 arcs in one season.
I gotta
11
say, I
episodes.
think my favorite was Isabel.
I will agree with
The mom.
Yes.
just because I'm glad she didn't turn after they made her a grandmother.
I think her fortitude in season 1 just made her the best kind of antagonist.
God, yes.
Because she loved the kids, but she knew at the same time she couldn't let them leave. And the moment that solidified it was when they were about to break out. She didn't even hesitate. She snapped Emma's leg without a second thought.
Fuck yes. She didn't care.
Mm-hmm. I was like, yep, she's doing what she knows to
She
do
is
best.
and I explained this to number 1 fan. She is the perfect version of a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
You have to break the cattle so they'll do what you need them to.
Mhm.
Because that's what they are. You love them. You care for them. You raise them the best they can be. But at the end of the day, she knows what they are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's it. She lets her care go so far. That's
You
why
mean
she
horses?
No, like cows.
Do you break? I thought you break horses.
You
Sorry.
You break Edgem.
Give me your phone so I can pull up the picture, and then after this episode, I'll pull up a picture of what the hell Don Juan was talking about. Give me your phone.
Okay.
all I'm trying to say is like as a farmer, and I think you relate to this. You care so much about the chickens that you raise.
I do.
Asshole.
I'm messing with you.
But at the end of the day, you know what they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're there for that type of thing. They're there for chicken nuggets. There you go. They're there for chicken nuggets and eggs.
Yeah.
And Isabella knew that.
Yeah, they're there for the business, and I do care for them. I mean, not as much as a human being.
Right.
And I can't relate to the chickens, but at the same time, I would do what's best to protect them just because they're my responsibility.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But I think it's a different level with Isabella because at the same time, she knows what they've been through because she's been through it herself. And if she could, she would free them. But she herself has been broken and knows there's no way out.
That's why I agree with you too. If I had to choose a second favorite character, it probably would be Isabella.
Which is why she gave Emma the offer. She's like, I see myself in you. You're trying to find a
You
way
need to
out.
become one.
You're doing everything that you can, but I'm telling you, it's not going to work. Just be like me. You'll learn to live with the guilt.
Yeah. Which would have flew in the face of everything that Emma wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh,
if
and
she were, yeah.
that's why it fucked with her so hard. And I
Yeah.
love that scene when it fucked with her so hard and she said that. God, he's trying so hard to find this Pokemon. I'm gonna laugh if he can't find it.
I know.
but-
I bet I know your favorite.
Who's my favorite? Go ahead. So I liked Norman at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
but then Ray really did become my favorite just because of how much of a realist
In
he is.
season 1 or 2, because he disappears in season 2.
Who, Ray? Or
Ray, I mean, he's kind of just like there in the background. Has
See,
a
yeah.
couple lines each episode.
That's what I mean. Like season 1, it's really a tight race between. Oh, did you finally catch them all? Are you happy now?
Congratulations.
Congratulations, number 1 fan. Yes, it's so tight between Norman and Ray that it's hard because I see both sides. Norman, even when it comes down to him sacrificing himself to go to Lambden to make sure that everybody can still live.
Right.
But I get Ray. I really do. Seeing the realistic side of everything. Seeing like, hey, we got to play this a different way. Or him actually giving information to Mother, but him doing it because he knew there was no way out. He knew what was going on.
Yeah, he had given up.
Which
Yeah.
is why the show loses its allure halfway through, because that stuff is true. There's no way to prove that the demons won't hunt humans. There's no way to prove that things will
Exactly.
work out in your favor.
Because that's what Sanju says after they meet up with him.
That.
Ingenium.
Ingenium.
I'm messing with you. That's not his name. That's My Hero Academia.
But that was what I was talking about.
Yeah, that is pretty derpy.
Exactly.
That's-
And so he does have like a little skirt in his second form.
Who is it?
He's got the wizard hat in the second form.
Okay.
Elgium.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm gonna try to find that kid's face, and you can compare it.
Oh
You made me do this.
So, for me, I'm going to have to say that the characters that I did like, I wound up finding a reason not to like them.
I have to agree
So,
too.
in season 1, I like Norman, bless you. And I was devastated when he was shipped out. Like I was like, no,
God,
not
yeah,
Norman.
Not Norman.
Well, then I kind of clung to Ray. I was like, okay, we got Ray. And then in season 2, Ray kind of disappears, and it was the big 3, and then it just becomes the big E. It's just Emma. It's all about Emma. And then Norman comes back, and I'm like, yes, Norman. And then Norman's like, I'm gonna kill all the demons. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
Norman. And then Emma's like,
No.
no, you don't want to do that. And he's like, yeah, I do. And she's like, no, you don't. Come on. And he's
You
like,
found him, didn't you?
he's like,
The blue
okay.
hair one. Can you see that?
My God, he really fucking does.
I knew it.
So I have to say,
You
that-
doubted me. Show
Wait, I
show.
take again.
Bro was like, dude, pass me the brownies. We're about to do a raid. Blue-haired kid.
That's great. Yeah, animation wasn't the best here.
Bro, I'm
But,
saying that.
but to be honest, it didn't need to be if they just would have kept the story as strong as the first season.
True.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm coming away from this one with just like a meh. Like
I agree.
I have no attachment to any. I'm not gonna miss any of the characters. I'm not
And that bothers
sad that
me.
there's not gonna be a season 3 for me to see
was-
them again.
It was a one and done. Yeah.
Not that they couldn't continue the story, they just won't.
Right.
There's no reason to. If you look at the little still frames that they showed, they covered their bases throughout the anime to cover everything that was in the manga. So I'm kind of glad they're done because I don't want to see Emma have more plot armor than fucking Goku, Naruto, Ichigo, and all them combined.
Why are you touching my Trevor?
I'm just putting my hand here. Fine, give me back my fucking Joker, and you have your Trevor.
Fondling his leg over here.
Yeah, this is one of those ones. Like season 1, I was hooked, I was in love, and then season 2 just left me with a.
Blue
Oh,
balls.
so
Yeah,
Man.
me too.
whatever.
I will say this.
On to the next.
Yeah, on to the next. I will say this though, musical wise, like the intro and outro was not bad. I found myself actually not skipping the intro and the outro music. I enjoyed it. It wasn't something that blew me away like King's Game or anything like heavy or anything like that.
But it wasn't bad either.
No, it was something that I found myself actually enjoying the outro too, and I was like, nice. So that it did have that going for it.
Mm.
But other than that, that's it. But I do have to admit, y'all are in for next one with our next
pick.
Well, before we state that, what would you guys give it out of 10?
Out of 10?
Are
Out
we
of 10.
going to
Out of
rate
10.
season 1 and season 2 differently, or this is all
together?
All together.
Because season 1, man, that's
See, to me, season 1.
9.95,
Yes,
bro.
yes,
Like,
I
season 1
agree.
up there. But then season 2, I feel like if you were to start from the 9.95 that I would give season 1, season 2 is going to bring it down to like a 6.5, maybe a 7.
Okay, so yeah, let's rate it between season 1, which we obviously think is very close, high 9s. What do you think overall it would be? How much do you think season 2 would ruin the score for season 1?
I would have to agree with Foal, either between 5 and 6.
I'm not as harshly rating it just because maybe I am biased because there's not much out there for the horror genre.
There's not.
And I have to find something good in the horror genre because I wish they would put more out there.
Should really check out Higurashi.
I want to. That was going to be my other pick. I told you that. But y'all put the rule. It can't be older than
Higurashi
2019.
just had a new...
Season, yes, but
Yeah.
the original came out in like 2008. We talked about that.
I think When They Cry is a remake. And it's new.
I want to watch that so bad.
Like a couple years.
I want to watch that so bad.
You should.
I'm planning on it. But I want to give it at least a 6.57, and that's still, I'm ranking it
That's
higher
about where I fall. Yeah.
because season 1 is just so good that I tend to
So
base it and be biased because of that.
I have to agree. I'd have to give it a 6.5 just because there's no excuse for the way that season 2 ran. I understand the manga went the same way, especially with the same writing faults. But with the manga being over and them working on the anime exclusively, they could have fleshed it out 10 times better. They could have written all of their wrongs that they had made in the manga. They went past everything that they had built in season 1. There was no excuse for the way that it went. It has to be a 6.5. And that's only because season 1 was so good.
So good.
Yeah, it's that good.
So
Okay.
that would be my recommendation. At least go in and check out the first season of the
Oh
Promised
God,
Land.
yes.
At least watch the first
That's the
season.
reason why I wore this shirt because this is season 1 shirt.
Yeah.
Like this is them in season 1, and it's so good, so good. So, are you ready? Are
So Chainsaw Man, right?
no?
I wish.
I'm kind of excited for that, even though a lot of people are just like, "That's so stupid." But I think it looks
No,
funny.
It's not bad.
He's
I think
got
you'll
the
like
little
it.
puppy.
I know. I want the little puppy.
Yeah.
It's cute as fuck.
Dude, I've been watching it.
So,
Did you see the 1/1 scale of the puppy?
They have
Yeah.
a 1/1 scale?
Yeah, they have a
Yes.
1/1 scale plushie.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a plush. Well, they do have a plush.
Yeah, they
but
have a
they've
plush.
got one.
Heart
I'll
statue?
pull it up for you. Yeah.
okay. So, number 1 fan. It's her turn to pick.
Has a surprise for
And
him.
she does have a surprise for you. She said, "Fuck y'all's rules,"
Oh, no.
because technically this anime has season 3. It came out this year or last year, 2 years ago, something like that. It's in our span that we said.
Okay.
Season 1 only has.
12. They only have 12 episodes per season.
So there you go.
Okay.
There's only 2
Okay.
seasons, so there's 24 episodes. But it's
Okay.
Junjo Romantica.
Junjo
Romantica, and it is on Funimation, but it is subbed.
Romantica.
Mm.
Subbed only.
And I'm gonna go ahead and. Oh, she's not letting me. She's not letting me.
Is this another reverse harem from
Nope.
our number 1 fan?
It's not a. No, you said I couldn't do that.
Is it a forward harem?
It's a yaoi
Oh, no.
or a maui or a zowie.
Oh, no.
It's one of those owies.
Oh, wow.
We're in for an owie.
It's
We're
okay.
in
So,
for an
since he did ruin it, it's a yaoi.
I mean, how many fans do we really need?
How many do we have?
we almost have
one.
100,
Oh,
but our number 1 is always here.
yeah.
But yes, it's a yaoi,
Mm.
and she's gonna be taking the head on that one and taking my spot.
Ooh.
I'm excited to watch that from the other side.
You don't want to do that.
Nope.
Club is my second choice because I understand.
What club?
Host Club.
Oh, Christian.
Host Club is good.
Did you like it though?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I think he would just rather watch that than Junjo Romantica.
I mean, I'll watch anything for the show, but at the same time, I've already seen
But
part of Host Club.
Club's pretty old though, isn't it?
Yeah, same year. 2000.
Same year.
Go with your gut.
Well, yeah, but I understand.
Junjo Romantica.
There we go. Vol said it.
Okay.
I'll go with it. I've already seen Host Club anyway.
There we go.
It's all right. You can pay me back later.
Of course, you'd be on board. That's why they call you Squirrely Don.
Squirrely Dan. All right, guys, and that's our anime episode.
You look like you're about to clap again.
Clap again.
I clapped.
Is that just your natural pose?
I don't
Do you
know.
want to shake your chest a little bit?
No, that's next episode. That is next episode. Bye.